refer to as my Nemo. Um, well, first of all, get things started. Here's one question. What did you think about World War II?
Well, I thought it was horrible. It was such a shock, the beginning of it. We had been riding around that afternoon and just having a nice drive with some other people and came on, turned on the radio, and we didn't have TV that day, and they told that Pearl Harbor had been bombed. And goodness, that we thought it was a plane. We didn't realize it was real, but it was. And it was just a shock to everybody that it had happened to us. So of course it was affected all of our country.
Second one. Did you know where your husband got shipped off to?
I didn't know at the time where he was going, but I knew that he had come from his first port of duty to go to his ship, and he had to go down South Alabama to where he was picked up and put on his ship, which was a destroyer. He was on a destroyer, USS John Hood, which actually his ship was in one of the last battles of the entire war. But he had many months of duty before the war was over, and was gone for over 2 years from us. And that's when our first little boy was born, just before he left to go overseas. And because it was a sad day, but Mima always believed that God was going to take care of us, and he did. He took care of all of us.
Okay. Second one. Did your husband get drafted or did he sign up for it?
He was drafted. He was drafted into the Army. Into the Navy. He was drafted and went into the Navy. And thought he was going to the Army, but they put him in the Navy. And that's why he was on the water most of the time of his tour of duty.
Okay.
And in the North Pacific, which was a kind of rough place, storm-wise as well as war-wise, many battles in the North Pacific.
Okay. During the war, how did you get certain stuff like sugar and coffee?
Well, during that war, I didn't have too much trouble. I was able to get anything that I needed. And the funny thing is, you can go through good things and go through bad times, and sometimes you kind of forget the bad, which is good. So if there was anything that I lacked as far as food, I don't remember it.
Okay. Could you send him letters, like telling how your family and stuff was doing?
Yes, I could. Send him letters about it. Get pictures. You know what? I even sent him one time to eat. There was a cannery here, and they canned fried chicken. And oh, they said that was the best thing they'd ever had on that ship when that canned fried chicken came in from Bartow County. So that was a good thing that I got to send him. And of course I sent pictures of our little boy because he just barely saw him before he left to go overseas. And now he's a big fella and a granddaddy. Your granddaddy.
Okay. I guess this is sort of a question that's already been answered, but could he send you letters?
Oh, yes. Yes, I didn't want to leave home, afraid I'd miss one. But I heard from him practically every day. And I know these friends of mine had wanted me to come visit them over at Rome. And I just told them I couldn't leave because I didn't want to miss a letter. I didn't want to miss getting my mail from my husband, your granddad. Great granddad. And so finally, when D-Day came along, she called me and she says, now, I'm coming after you. She says, I'm coming to get you. You're going to stay for at least 2 weeks with us and rest a while. Because says you've been through a lot being without George. And she says, I'm coming to get you. You're going to stay a while. So after I knew that he'd be coming home and the mail might not come like it had before, I said, well, I'm ready to leave, ready to come visit. So we went to go visit.
Okay. Before I ask the next question, because I wrote some, I want to know if you had 1 or 2 children while your husband was off to war.
Off to war, I had the first one just before his ship left, and then I didn't have any more. After he came home, we had a little boy, and he's a great big old boy too.
Okay, so how did you make it with 1 kid and a husband at war?
How did I make it? Well, I made it the best I could, darling. I just believed that the Lord would take care of him. I just prayed for God to take care of him, and he did, and brought him home safe. But we'd get out in the afternoon because the little boy was growing, getting a little bit bigger, and he was in a stroller by that time. And we'd get out in the afternoon and walk and go to town. And I just couldn't wait, though, to get home when it began to get dusk, late in the afternoon, just before dawn. I hurried because I didn't want to be outside at night. It was a lonesome time with your husband gone. It was a lonesome time. So we'd hurry and get home and close in for the night.
Okay. Did you work at the time, and if you did, where, and what was your job?
No, darling, I didn't work out. Not with that little old baby. I worked at home, took care of him. So I wasn't able to get out and work. And things worked out for us real good. We bought a home during the time he was gone. Our home place that was in my family. And then when he came home, we made it into apartments and lived in it for years. Then we finally built a home and moved into it. Now that home that we bought while he was in service has been sold, torn down, and it's made parking area for the Presbyterian Church here in Cartersville.
Okay. Were you scared during the war? Like, for instance, bombing Bartow, or parts of Georgia, and Bartow just had to be one part of it?
No, I wasn't afraid of it. I really wasn't. I felt like it was sort of localized there in the North Mississippi. So I didn't worry about Bartow County being bombed. And that was one thing I didn't have to worry about.
Okay. This one was sort of a crazy one. It just pops into my mind. I put, last but not least, were you glad, not glad, but happy when the war was over?
Oh, was I happy? Goodness gracious. I mean, I was happy. I was so happy I couldn't stand myself hardly. We were thrilled today. Just so good that God had taken care of us through. Weren't good times, but they were times that He took care of us, helped us through it.
Okay. Thank you for letting me interview you.
Well, honey, you're so precious. I'm so glad you did. I loved it. I loved it.
This is the end of my interview. Was my great grandma, my Mima.